Hello guys, this is Deathlog933 and today/tonight we are going to be reviewing a creepypasta called pearl.avi. Let's start. So we all know SpongeBob, right? The little yellow sponge is always laughing, smiling, annoying the hell out of his neighbor, and just all around being a goofy character with a starfish by the name of Patrick who is his best friend. Hold on one second, I'm gonna leave a link to the crap. I'm going to leave a link to the creepypasta in the description, so I just copied it. Alright. Well, now that we have an introduction all settled, I'd like to introduce you that I have, or rather had, a rare copy of a SpongeBob episode written none other than Steven Hillenburg. While roaming in the Nickelodeon studios in 2008, let me tell you, let me tell you, the tickets to get in were not that easy to get. Anyway, I ran into Mr. Hillenburg in one of the main areas in the studio. No, literally. Yeah, I ran into him. See, I kind of snuck into a high security area. Well, I ended up wearing guards, and you get the gist. After bumping into him, I apologize. Mr. Hillenburg looked as though he was in a daze. I waved my hand in front of him, but he continued onward past me. This made me a little uneasy. Once he walked away, I spotted something on the ground where I had bumped into Hillenburg. It was a videotape. It didn't have some kind of discernible title or anything, remotely close to what the video was about. No sticker or nothing inside the film protector or anything. I picked it up and ran very quickly out of the lot. About a week later, after my initial journey by plane back to Chicago, sorry, that was my cat, I remembered I still had the tape. Seeing as I had a VHS to DVD burner that I got for Christmas last year, I decided to get a blank DVD hard disk and put it into the DVD side of the burner as well as the video side of the VHS side. After 30 minutes or so, it popped out of the disc and sorry, lost my line for a second. DVD in my computer. Autoplay popped up, of course, because I had modified my computer to do so. I decided to look in the folder for it. There was a movie file that went by the name of pearl.avi. And Pearl, Jesus. Stop. Alright, as I then double-clicked the movie file as Windows Media Center popped up. Are you ready, kids? Aye, Captain. It was a SpongeBob episode. Thought to myself, ooh, I haven't seen this show in so long. SpongeBob was one of my favorite shows as a 10-year-old, and hearing the nasty laughter of the sponge would make my ears absolutely sing with joy. Well, metaphorically, of course. So as the title of the episode came up, I noticed something odd. There was no title to it. What the fuck is that? Why the hell am I using a fake gun? But anyway. It showed three things I knew and loved about SpongeBob. Three main houses. There's the pineapple, the Easter Island head, and the rock with the antenna on it. I smiled with nostalgia as I heard SpongeBob's laughter echoing through the computer speakers. SpongeBob was watching a TV show on his little diver helmet TV. About 5 seconds through... sorry. After the scene transitioned in SpongeBob's house, and Pearl, Mr. Krabs' daughter, burst through SpongeBob's door, breaking the door down as she does so. Holy shit. Anyway, she's seen sobbing hysterically in a comedic manner. You know, many waterfalls coming out of her eyes. SpongeBob begins to walk over and asks Pearl, "What's wrong?" Pearl replies, "Oh, SpongeBob, it's terrible. Daddy won't talk to me. He hasn't said a single word to me all day. He just sits in his bedroom looking down at the floor and sighing." SpongeBob implies backdoor in a bit of a heroic way. "Mr. Krabs, that seems weird." "Don't worry, Pearl. I'll go talk to him." "You will, SpongeBob?" Pearl replies with a fuck looking of happiness on his face. SpongeBob then nods. Pearl is seen hugging SpongeBob and saying, "Thanks, SpongeBob, you're the coolest." The scene transitions into bubbles where Coming up to SpongeBob, nearing the giant anchors, Mr. Krabs and the Pearl alive and saying, "Cool, huh? Cha-cha." Well, I can't talk tonight. Just bear with me. Wait, you want attention? Come here, you freaking cat. But anyway, hey, hey, yeah, you hear jazz and his trumpet and chorus playing. Okay, whatever. And then you see Mr. Wait, scene into a immediately go stance and look. He then knocks on Mr. Krabs' door, and then we see Mr. Krabs claw quickly grab SpongeBob, pull him into his home. "SpongeBob, boy, I'm glad you're here. I have to tell you something." "What is it, Mr. Krabs?" SpongeBob asks. Sorry. Bear with it. It's a kitten. But anyway, it's about Pearl. You see, she's SpongeBob confused by. I swear to God, I keep thinking that there's a face looking at me. I'll stop now. Or at least I'll try to. Fuck. Sometimes I hate this laptop. But anyway. SpongeBob, confused by Mr. Krabs' stammering, asked, "She's what, Mr. Krabs?" A grim look comes upon Mr. Krabs' face. "She's adopted me, boy." And SpongeBob gasps. "Adopted?" A claw grabs SpongeBob's lips as they're being comedically stretched forward. "Shh, she might be out there listening. Now, me boyo. I want you to tell her she's adopted. I can't do it." God damn it. Do I need to kick you two out? No more hissing. Okay, what the? Oh yeah, that's right. You know what? Stop. Ow! I just smashed my thumb off the bed. But anyway. Wait, where was I? Tears begin to well up in Mr. Krabs' eyes. I just can't. SpongeBob looks shocked at this, but Mr. Krabs, I can't do that. That would break your fragile heart. SpongeBob, that's an order! I'm sorry, I had to do that. It's in all caps. Anyway, Mr. Krabs says with sadness and frustration, says, "Yes, sir." And SpongeBob and Walsey saluted, beginning to run out panting. I, at this point, was starting to get a bit uneasy. This wasn't the SpongeBob SquarePants I knew back in the day. This was something else, something more adult. Now, even though I like more adult stuff, this episode just made me really uneasy. Telling someone they're adopted is not an easy task, trust me. What were results parents once told to do by Saul, or whose parents told you to tell that person? Last time I had to do that, I had to coach someone out of committing suicide. Anyway, back to the episode. The screen transitions again to SpongeBob's house, where Pearl is seen sniffling, and SpongeBob pops his head into the busted doorway. Again, someone needs to fix that. But anyway, Pearl looks up and immediately overjoyed to see SpongeBob. "SpongeBob," she calls out in a steady tone, "did you find out why Daddy won't talk to me?" SpongeBob says timidly as he clears his throat, "Yes, I did." Pearl says in a concerned tone, "What's wrong, SpongeBob?" We then hear SpongeBob's thoughts. What should I do? Should I tell her? Should I lie to Mr. Krabs? No. Well, I wouldn't do a thing. Hey, Mr. Krabs probably docked my pay to half a penny if I did that. This made me do a small chuckle as I knew Mr. Krabs is a cheapskate. Real bastard. But anyway, my chuckle fell silent as I heard SpongeBob outright say, "Pearl, I don't know how to say this, but you're adopted." Pearl's eyes opened wide, while SpongeBob and I cringed. I then heard a laugh coming in the computer speakers. It was Pearl's laugh. Well, Pearl's laugh. God damn it. That's a good one, SpongeBob, but really, why won't Daddy talk to me? Pearl, it's the truth. Mr. Krabs had me come over here to tell you. What? No, you're lying. Pearl then slaps SpongeBob very realistically and storms out of the house. We then see Pearl walking up to the front door with tears in her eyes, furious as she opens the door forcefully. She sees her father and holding back tears. Oh, fuck! Daddy, please tell me that's not true. Please tell me SpongeBob is lying. Mr. Krabs begins to tear up and says, tells Pearl. Yes, it is true. When you were a baby and I was looking out around you when the metal detector on the outskirts of Bikini Bottom, looking for loose change, I stumbled upon you and your mother, or what was left of her after the scallops got her. Okay, I will tell you this now. I'm only interrupting for a second. Alright? This next scene, or whatever, hold on, sorry, itch, is going to contain a small amount of gore. If you have a weak stomach, or whatever the reason you feel like you're going to throw up due to the amounts of gore, or whatever, stop watching now or skip. I will tell you the time to skip once I finish with the scene. Alright. It then transitions to a flashback scene Swiss Day makes me cringe. It shows Pearl's mother's eyes gouged out with one hanging, her tongue out and somewhat tuned off, her fins only bone, her ribcage skin. Ugh, even I'm having a hard time reading this. Ripped off decaying muscle, and her throat had a hole in it, showing the larynx, windpipe, maybe an esophagus. I turned away at this point, still listening. I found your mother laying there, morbidly decayed. When I heard her crying coming nearby, the crying was you. You looked like you had just come out of your mother. I scooped you up, took me home, and cleaned you up. Kept you around for a good 16 years. I felt it were better to tell you now when you were old enough to understand. I'm sorry I can't do a sailor's voice. I started crying at the precise point. This became too adult, too happy for the little show I used to know and love. I wanted to click the X in the top right corner, but I just couldn't turn away. Pearl ran out crying, and not the comedic tears either. These looked realistic, almost human. SpongeBob, oh, fuck. Wait, I screwed up again. SpongeBob, me boy, go after him. These tiny legs won't catch up to her. Please, boyo. SpongeBob nodding began after Pearl calling her name. Pearl began to run faster, and SpongeBob began to struggle keeping up with her. Pearl stopped at the top of a high coral cliff and turned around and told SpongeBob to stop. She put a fin out. You know what it's like to not know your mother, to be some crusty, some creepy crustacean all your life, thinking he's your dad, even though you two look completely different. I mean, how can a crab have a sperm whale for a child? That's a good point. Pearl's voice was getting very shaky, and she was ready to start sobbing uncontrollably. I don't think you do. To be lied to all your life, to not know your true family, I don't want to be lied anymore. Pearl then proceeded to fall backwards in a seemingly endless chasm. SpongeBob yelled out, "Wait, Pearl!" and ran down the cliff slope, where he had just ran after Pearl. He ran as fast as he could, but couldn't get to the bottom before he heard a loud, disgusting crack. Even I heard the sound. It sounded like a bone snapping in two. Ugh. Again, another sound of violence. We're currently at 13:25, and we are another scene of gore. SpongeBob walked off towards where she is seen face up with her head pushed violently to her side. Her neck had snapped right in two. Her eyes were now a blue and were now as soulless as any person who had succumbed to death. But anyway, SpongeBob walked up to her silently. His shoes no longer making that funny squeaking sound. He dropped his knees realistically next to her corpse and started to sob humanly uncontrollably. He hugged the corpse, looked up to the sky, and saying, "Why, Neptune? Why? She was too young. Why?" This caused me to sob right along with the sponge. This episode then cut to black and was finished. I couldn't believe it. Why would Hillenburg make such a demented and depressing episode? I went to bed after this. Shut up. Next day after coming home from work, I planned to extract the episode onto my hard drive and make it put it on YouTube in about 2 parts. It's a 15-minute episode, of course. Jesus. 15 minutes of hell if you ask me. Oh, whatever. When I got home, everything was a mess. Papers were everywhere. My TV was gone. I'm not going to say anything because it's racist. My computer and its accompanying tower, her mouse, and any USB that I had in it were gone. My VHS and DVD burner was gone. Oh shit, I've been wrong. Where's the video? Where is it? As I began to look for the video that contained the episode, I couldn't find it. That was the only VHS tape I had in my possession, and I guess the robbers figured it would be worth money. I kind of figured it too, so suffice to say, I'm unable to provide a video of the source. I apologize and hope you all heed my warning of picking up any strange tape in a famous studio after bumping into a famous cartoon writer. I don't think anyone will see it as suicidemouse.avi. It was up on YouTube. Once again, I like this story. Maybe a warning to pick up strange tapes. You never know what you'll end up watching. And that, my friends, was this, my friends, was a Creepypasta review. I'm sorry, it's 2:30 in the morning and I'm actually a little tired. But I just thought I'd bring that to you guys. So, as I always say, peace, motherfuckers.